Alright, so today I'm going to go ahead and walk through how I installed the Noam 4-channel marine stereo system for my UTV. So first I mounted the speakers on the back rail. You can see it there. Then I ran the speaker cables up underneath the rail all the way down the bar here. Then I ran it underneath the body and up into the compartment underneath the hood. I took the controller and I cut into the dashboard and I installed the controller there. And then the amp I mounted underneath of the steering wheel. And then right behind the amp, I drilled a hole to run the wires through. So everything now is underneath the hood. So if I come over here, so here's where the wires come through. So the wires coming through here, and then the speaker cables that I have coming up through there. And then this goes to the power. So this connector goes straight to the power. So to do the power, Noam suggested that you run the power cable straight to the battery, both positive and negative. But besides doing that, I decided to run it to the ignition. I wanted to make sure that the radio would turn off when I turned the ignition off, so I didn't drain the battery. So what I did was I ran the negative line all the way up through the body, and I terminated it right here on the frame of the vehicle. And the positive, I use an AC detector, an AC contactless detector. And up underneath, right where the ignition comes through, I used the detector to determine which cable was live only when the ignition was turned on. And then once I determined which cable was live, I used a splice kit right here by putting the one end of the splice on the hot wire, and then the positive line from the amp to the other end, and then I just used a, so I can get a picture of that in there. I used a clamp to just go ahead and clamp that down. So you can see that the lead wire is now terminated on the opposite side of the ignition, and I'll demonstrate how that looks when I turn the key on. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the key in. So there it is. So now if I go back out, there is an inline toggle that they give you that's just on all the time. So instead of having to push that, turn it off and turn it on, it's now wired to the back end of the ignition. So you'll see that here when I turn the ignition off. It goes off. That's how I decided to install it. So that way I didn't forget when I'm out in the field to turn my radio off and drain my battery. So it's real simple how I did the install. Any questions, just leave them in the comment section and I can walk you through what I did. But it literally took about an hour. The hardest part for me was actually running the cable. Thank you.